Alright, hey guys, welcome to CJ Market Watch. And before I begin, Merry Christmas to everyone out there. Thank you for supporting crypto grinders for the last whole year, even though we have been so bearish. But you know, Santa Claus has brought about some great gifts this year, right? You know, ending the year with a blast, right? And instead of being in red, you know, where Santa Claus is always dressed in red, we are in green. So the Christmas tree, I guess green themed this year, right? So we're ending in green. We're ending a lot of gains here. And I think I pretty much assume that most of you who are watching this right now are sitting on quite a fair bit of gains as well, right? So hallelujah, right? So this is a great news. But the question is, still once again, is it sustainable? And where are we heading to next? I think these are some of the things that we have to discuss. And what I'm about to share with you guys right now is just about US stock losses and Bitcoin impresses. Now, not only just that, we have to not just look at the financial markets, we also have to look at cryptocurrency market, and we have to be looking at what is going to happen in 2019, right? So what exactly should we be looking forward to in this coming year? Now, what I've done is I've spent the last few minutes preparing some charts. I'm going to be walking through Bitcoin's chart as well, 4 hours and daily, and also as well Ethereum chart. We'll also be talking about some news of what is happening in the financial markets, what's happening with the stock market, that is potentially, you know, skyrocketing BTC prices or moving or volume shifting towards BTC. Okay, so we're just gonna be covering these few topics today. We're not gonna be covering so much news. I think that there isn't much news that I think most of you are interested in since it's Christmas. Let's keep it short, let's keep it sweet, so that we can all have our turkey and ham. Okay, so let's go. Now, this is coming back to CoinMarketCap, right? We are at $144 billion, which is great market cap. And in fact, I think this morning I mean for Singapore, this morning it was about 137, now it's 144, right? 24 hours volume is at 23 billion, and Bitcoin dominance is now at 51.1%. Now, the noticeable thing is actually Bitcoin dominance. Now, last week when we last saw it, it was about 53.3%. So now we're at 51.1%. So what does it mean? It means that some of the BTC or some of the funds in crypto has kind of shifted toward altcoins as well. I think it's kind of understandable why it's shifting towards altcoins, because at this current moment, we can see that altcoins are actually doing pretty well, right? A lot better than BTC himself. So you realize that Ripple went up 15%. I think this is probably due to the news that Binance are listing certain tokens that is base pair with Ripple. Ethereum is still 14.81%. Now, the interesting relationship between the two of them is, of course, Ethereum or Ripple overtook Ethereum weeks ago or months ago, right, in terms of the second position. So you can see that the gap between the two of them, it's kind of thinning. We are about 2 billion away from Ethereum taking over Ripple in the market cap again. So we shall see whether that will happen. But in terms of market volume, in terms of 24 hours volume, Ethereum has went through quite a fair bit of volume, right? It's close to $4 billion, while Bitcoin is at 7 billion. So with that, got to note, you need to understand that in that sense, Ethereum may kind of have a chance to overtake Ripple in terms of its ranking once again, and also partly because as the market sentiment picks up, I think generally people will be looking at Ethereum once again for ICO, STO, and so on and so forth, right? So that is the next thing in a lot of people's mind. What can I do to sell my wares, right? Or what can I do to sell my idea? So that's happening. And therefore you see that Ethereum is kind of climbing as well, right, because of the prices. And I think a lot of people has been accumulating Ethereum at its low when it hit about $80, $70. A lot of people started accumulating. If you did that, you are about 100% up, right? Bitcoin Cash on the other hand went up to $210. It went down to a very significant level, close to about $80 as well, if I remember correctly. And last week, particularly, it went up by crazy amounts per day, right? 20% and 30% gains. But I think this week is kind of just sobered down, it's slowing down a lot, okay? EOS is sitting comfortably above $3 now. It's at 10.77% today. Stellar as well, there's certain news about Stellar, so that's why there's a certain sort of pump. I'm also still waiting for Stellar's news on Coinbase, personally, right? I'm not sure when it's going to happen. Now, Litecoin on the other hand, 10.35, SV is still here, Tether is still here, and so on and so forth. Tron, Cardano, alright, blah blah blah, everything is in green. Quantum went up 21% too, wow, right? So, yeah. Okay, anyway, so when we scroll down even more, we see most of them already in green. Okay, so it's a brilliant sight to foresee. It's a brilliant sight to see when we are already, you know, closing to the end of 2018. So we're just thankful, honestly. I mean, every morning when I wake up, I'm just thankful for what the market has done for us, in a sense. Okay, lots of gratitude here. Now, next thing we need to understand, the other thing that we need to kind of understand is prices. Now, looking at Bitmex price, of course, is 4185. Okay, so let me just refresh this page slightly. So it's okay, so it's 4191.50 now on Bitmex. But the thing that I want you to kind of just understand, or just to take a look from here, is that you kind of realize that currently the prices against Tether, or BTC against Tether, is kind of slightly lower as compared to the price of BTC against US dollars. Now, I'm not too sure if you guys notice that, but if you guys do notice that, you realize that there's a slight difference when it comes to the prices between BTC/Tether and BTC/US dollars. In fact, over the last 1 or 2 weeks, okay, at least last week per se, guys, you should have realized that BTC/US dollars, it's a higher premium. There's a higher premium, or it's more expensive than as compared to BTC/USD Tether. I'm not too sure if any of you noticed that. But I personally took notice of that. There is in fact about a $30 gap last week. And one thing to note, or my suspicion, is because a lot of different investors or institutional investors are coming in to those cryptocurrency/fiat exchange to use US dollars as fiat to purchase their cryptocurrency, or to purchase BTC. And therefore, there's a premium on BTC/US dollars as compared to BTC/Tether. Now, you realize, in order for the market to move entirely, in order for it to you know, just skyrocket or to go to moon in that sense, you need to have fresh fiat coming in. Now, if it's just going from Tether into BTC or into cryptocurrency, it doesn't make sense because it's still within the ecosystem. Do you get where I'm coming from? So it's a good news as well that fiat is coming in to Tether, or sorry, into BTC, and therefore moving the market. And that's what I call organic volume. That is what we need in a market like this. All right. So much bearishness before in this whole 2018, and then December, bam, we have 2 weeks of green. And so one thing that I kind of just understand was that there was someone in the Telegram group saying that you know, he has been waiting for the lows as long as possible. Even last week, when BTC started pumping, he was still in disbelief. He did not buy into any of BTC yet, or into the market entirely. He's still holding on to Tether. And right now, BTC is already crossing about $4,200. And you know, every time I do CG Market Watch, it's kind of like a good gauge or a good level to get in, right? Since last Monday when I talk about it, that point in time when I was talking about it, it's about $3,300 or $3,600 level. If you have got in back then, you have already earned about what, $600 to $800 per BTC that you have. Now, that is the difference. So one thing that I can just really share with you guys, if any of you are holding on to Tether or fiat, or you're sitting on the sideline waiting for the lows to come, unfortunately, guys, you need to have a wake-up call. The lows may have already been priced in. It's no longer gonna come, and you just gotta assume that from now onwards, $4,000 or maybe $3,800 or maybe $3,600 is the cheapest that you can get for BTC. Whether or not there's a confirmed guarantee way that you will be getting there, that I'm unsure as well, right? The market can manipulate BTC prices very easily. But the one thing that I can really just share quickly is that you cannot really expect anything below $3,500 for sure. Anything below $3,800 is already a struggle. Now, if you want to use different technical analysis method to kind of just contradict my point of view, it's fine. But the one thing I just want to share with you all quickly is this. I also was holding on to quite a fair bit of Tether. But, you know, when the market started recovering or pumping slightly, I just dollar cost average. So at about 3,600, I went in 50% of my Tether, right? And then after it pumped more at 3,800, 3,900, I decided to just go all in already. And I set aside a certain amount to just long the market. So while I was holding on to my BTC pot, I was also longing the market, right? So with that being said, I'm just accumulating more Satoshis, while this pot of gold or pot of BTC is still earning that US dollars and Satoshi. So I also converted that BTC into other altcoins as well, therefore earning even more gains. And then, do I take into Tether? Not really, right? So if you take into Tether, you're running the risk of actually getting out of the market. So if you're holding on to just BTC or crypto per se, just trade among the cryptos just to see which one has more percentage gain. In fact, I mean, on a day like this, for instance, you can see which particular token like Ripple, Ethereum has actually got more gains than your token. So imagine this, let's say Ethereum goes up by 14.64%. And for instance, let's say I'm holding on to maybe some token, say Dogecoin. We went up by 2.11%. 2.1% is still significant as compared to a lot of different instruments around the world. But 2.1% compared to 14.64%, I could have achieved 14.64% if I swapped from Dogecoin to Ethereum. Do you get where I'm coming from? So if you're holding on to Ethereum instead, you will have gotten a higher return. And then do you want to swap back to Dogecoin? That's up to you to decide. Would you want to hold on to Ethereum? That's for you to decide. But at this point in time, swapping odds among odds is the safest way. Now, also, on the other hand, if your token is not doing as well as BTC, then you might as well just be holding on to BTC. Do you get where I'm coming from? So you have to kind of understand which particular token will outperform the other one, and then swap from one altcoin to the other odds, and then enjoy the upside. And then if the idea is to accumulate more of the base pair, then swap it back to the base pair. That's how you trade. That's how you need to know when everything is in the green, you need to spot the token that makes sense. You need to spot the one with a higher percentage gain. All right. And also volume, it's always eyeballs. Eyeballs is volume, meaning to say the more people who trade that particular token, the more news it has. The top 10 tokens you realize always have more gains, that's except Tether. Tether is not. But if you focus on the top 10 to 20, you're pretty safe. Okay, so I think most of you should have already realized that. So you need to start thinking of how to trade. See, the reason why cryptocurrency trading is tough is because it's very, very dynamic. Every day in trading, like in example, every day trading crypto is like every week trading Forex. That's my own personal experience and feedback. That's the difference, right? So when you're trading crypto every day, your strategy have to keep changing. There's no fixed strategy. You just have to keep monitoring the whole market and then understand what strategy has to be adopted at that point in time, and then you adapt, right? So you cannot be stagnant in that sense, okay? So now that I'm done with this, now I just want to cover 3 news quickly. It's about the same thing all over again. So Bitcoin's price recover as Dow suffers worst week in a decade. So what we are seeing here, guys, is that the stock prices in the US are going through a very major hit. There's a lot of downside on a lot of different stocks. We have Nasdaq Composite lost 2.99%, significant losses in Facebook, Amazon, Apple. Both the Dow and S&P are in the red by at least 9%, okay, for 2018. So that is 9% losses, okay? So I mean, in crypto, 9% is nothing, right? But guys, 9% in financial markets, in the stock market, it's a huge percentage, all right? So what we are seeing here is also there are lots of signs now suggesting that we may be looking at a recession. I would say that the risk is here. There's a whole lot of confluence taking place. The trade war is not going to end soon. The Fed totally misjudged the market in suggesting 2 more rate hikes next year. And so that is what's happening now. What is the next thing that was kind of happening is that people are kind of shifting out from equities or stock markets towards Bitcoin. Now, the title today is Stock Market Losses, Bitcoin Impresses. Why? Because if you are looking at the different indexes and you're looking at different commodities, you're looking at different kind of asset classes, you realize that, and you would have realized that Bitcoin or even just crypto are the best performing for today. Now, let me just show you investing.com and you'll get what I mean. Now, so this is kind of like a summary that tells you what is good, what is not, right? So you can see that in terms of indexes, most of them are down in a certain percentage, right? Except VIX, right? So VIX is volatility index by CBOE. Of course, it's kind of going up when the economy is not doing as well. Now, commodities wise, we are kind of recovering. Gold, silver, it's kind of expected because they are more of a hedge. But you look at ETFs, nah, not much, right? But when you look at crypto, you realize the huge discrepancy. Okay, so be it CNBC, Bloomberg, be it investing.com, whatever trading kind of website or investing kind of website, you realize that they have already spotted, okay, or traders and investors are realizing that, hey, you know, cryptocurrencies are going up. I need to figure out how to buy it. And therefore, it kind of confirms my suspicions that more people are buying the BTC or buying the cryptocurrency via fiat. Okay, and this is good because it's fresh fund entering the market. So just by looking at these few different tabs, you will have realized that the market sentiment is shifting, okay, towards cryptocurrency. Now, based on that, now US market chalks up huge weekly losses by Bitcoin and DXY. Now, what is DXY? DXY is dollar index. Now, so guys, can you imagine that people are selling their stocks, okay, and selling whatever they have, be it S&P or stocks in S&P and Dow Jones, into US dollars? Okay, so US dollars is now a safe haven. It's very, very strange. Why? Because the Feds have raised interest rates and it's now safer to kind of hold US dollars as compared to even being invested in any form of asset classes. So think of it as a normal, let's say all of us are here as a normal investors, and you have never invested in cryptocurrencies before. You are only invested in the stock market, bonds, or whatever, not traditional markets. And now that you see so much losses, you would then be shifting all your asset into US dollars. And then you take a look at different tabs. You realize that, hey, crypto is going up 5%, Bitcoin, right? And the rest of it are going by double-digit percentage gain. So you'll be thinking to yourself, what am I holding my US dollars for? So now I need to figure out how to buy BTC. So everyone started shifting towards BTC and crypto per se. And also Christmas gatherings are coming, Thanksgiving is coming, okay, and whatever not. So people are celebrating, people are talking about cryptocurrency, people are talking about the markets are bad. I've invested into Amazon, I lost money. I invested into Apple, I lost money. But the only thing I bought it at a low, that's Bitcoin. I make a few $1,000s from it. So it's happening, right? So Christmas is like a gathering of information in that sense, knowledge, information, gossips, okay, sometimes. But this is happening in the market, right? And so coming to it, US dollars index improved. So think of it this way, what is kind of like the safest thing to be holding when a recession hits? It's cash, it's gold, and maybe Bitcoin. Why cash is because everything is on a discount. You can always purchase more stuff with US dollars or with a fiat per se, a value, and everything that you have, you can use gold, you can sell it out, you can change to money, and once again you can buy into certain properties, you can buy into certain asset because it's all on great discount. That is recession for you. So the other thing that you need to kind of realize is that a lot of people in the world are in debt. And this debt is in terms of trillions of dollars, okay? Be it student loans, be it renovation loans, be it housing loan, be it any kinds of loans. It's already been 10 years. We are kind of a few years late in terms of recession cycle. And with that being said, loans are being passed from A to B, B to C, and every time it passes on loans, the prices kind of increase, okay? And not just that, not just the loan passing off plus a markup, you also have your taxation, you also have, so you have that shifting, you also have inflation, right? So everything is going up. The question is, where is the crunch point when everything just crumbles, okay? So that point is coming soon, guys. That point is coming soon. So 2019, 2020, not too sure when. I have some friends that are saying 2020. I hope certain policies can be done or can be used to kind of curb inflation, to kind of curb that potential recession, at least until after 2019. So guys, crypto may be the way to go for now, and you got to be prepared for this recession. This is not going to be a very small recession. It's going to be very, very big. We have seen a lot of weekly losses, or in fact, I mean, looking at Dow Jones, Nasdaq, losing almost the worst week for a decade. You can kind of just understand that scale of this recession. How big is it going to be? How much of an unemployment that would cause, in a lot of different economies all around the world. Guys, this is not a game, right? So recession is gonna be here, it's impending, it's imminent. Question is when. Question is whether crypto can boost, can be a bull run before we can cash out and go to different asset classes and diversify. That is what you guys should learn right now. All right. So very quickly, okay, so I think you guys can read on these articles. Okay, I've done enough. I've talked enough about all this. So let's go into the charts for now. Okay. So looking at this 4 hours chart, well, a lot of guys are tuning in today. Awesome. So I guess nobody is celebrating Christmas. Okay, so anyway, now this is the 4 hours chart. I love to chart on 4 hours. It's just my personal point of view. So what you can see is that I've labeled my candles from 1 to 9. I've been tracking this very, very closely all the time. So right now what we see is that in this pink line being formed here, we're in an upward channel, all right? So if you were to just zoom out, you realize that we have hit kind of like a bottom ever since we went down from 6,003 all the way down to about $3,100 level. And this is 4 hours on Bitstamp, okay? So you can see that this was an upward channel, and then we have a huge bull flag. So when a lot of people are calling for a downward action, we're heading to 3,005, guys, it's not going to happen that easily. Now, the assumption here is this. You need to understand that BTC is supply fixed, right? So the supply for BTC is always fixed. The only thing that can affect BTC prices, like I always say in terms of economics is demand and supply, is that it's demand. Sentiment driven. When things are only driven by demand, when prices are only driven by demand, it's very sentiment pushed, right? It's very sentiment focused. So it's very sentiment driven. So when the sentiment of the market is bad, the demand will just go down instantly. It's like an effect, it's like ×2 effect, right? Demand will go down instantly. When sentiment picks up, the same thing. It's like a 1:2 or 1:3 ratio. Demand picks up double to triple. Now, because BTC hit a new low, okay, because BTC hit a kind of like a new low after so long in 2018 at least, the news caught that, all right? And now that the prices move up in more than $800, $900 in a week, okay, so in this week, it moved up by about $800, and also it corresponded with the worst week in the stock market. Can you just see what is the inverse correlation that these two different asset classes have? So the people who are seeing a lot of losses realize that they are in a lot of losses, and what would they do to kind of make it back is that they need to throw back to the asset class that are making more. What is it? Cryptocurrency in that sense. So do you get where I'm coming from? I'm just trying to show you the inverse correlation or the relationship between the different kind of asset classes, and that is happening. So basically what you do see here is that even though technical analysis shows that we should be heading down, be it in terms of Elliott wave, be it in terms of broadening wedges, be it in terms of different kind of EMA 200 blocking you, but you realize that how the chart has just been irrational, and this went up in this morning in Singapore, and we do see that it was actually hovering just below EMA 200. So this is cyan color line is actually EMA 200. We have been there for quite a while. It was hovering around $4,020, you know, just back and forth and along this wedge, and then now it crashed, and then it's supported by this channel, and then we pumped. So this has nothing to do with technical analysis, okay, maybe except for the point that it's being supported by the channel. Other than that, it's just sentiment driven. So when you understand that demand is the one that's pushing the price, you realize that sentiment is the one that's, you know, the base or the foundation of this whole pump is sentiment. Then you realize that the one big word that's happening right now in the market is FOMOness. And not just FOMOness. If you're holding on to Tether, you would FOMO. If you're holding on to fiat and you're thinking where to go in, you are FOMOing already. And you're thinking, oh no, should I be buying more right now? The prices, is it good? Is it going to go down? I don't care, because what is 4,200 when I can go to $12,000? So the FOMOness is going to kick in, the greed is going to kick in, the fear of losing or fear of missing out. It's huge, okay? And from what we know, like example Ryan and I said last week, is that we have some contacts over in China and different parts of the world, and they are buying BTC in bulks. They are bulks, okay? A lot, huge hundreds of BTC per time, per transaction. So that is really happening, guys. So we are living in a period of time right now. This is a crucial week. Last week was a crucial week. If you have not accumulated BTC, guys, what are you doing? Right now is the time, man. So focus on that, all right? Now, so some of you complain that I'm not giving any direction, okay? The one thing that I'm not giving, one reason why I'm not giving a clear direction here is that this is non-financial advice. On top of that, I have to prioritize what's happening in Legacy and Elite Group, all right? But the one thing that I can just kind of just clarify to all you guys, just gifting it to you because it's Christmas, is that we are going high, all right? We are going to be going to further actions. We're going to be seeing upward movement. We're going to be seeing some shorts being liquidated. We are going to be seeing a lot of huge action coming from it. Now, does it prove that Bitcoin is inversely proportional or correlated to recession? That we don't know yet, because it's not recession proven. There's not a lot of margin or leveraging on BTC or F per se, except maybe Bitmex and a few different Bitfinex, a different few margin exchanges. But as of now, even just looking at the chart, you can see that this is a huge bull flag. And then once again, we went up slightly. This was kind of like a bull flag as well. And then, or a wedge, if you could say it. And then this is the flag bull. So what I suspect is this, in the next few hours to come, in the next few candles, okay, in the next few candles, I believe so this is the fourth candle. In the fifth and sixth candle, we may see some downside, hopefully. I pray. Hopefully, we may see some downside. And so that forms the bull flag in that sense. So this bull flag will be kind of like the last bull flag, guys, before we eventually pump. So listen, today is the Monday, volume is weak. Tomorrow is Tuesday, volume is going to get stronger every passing day until we hit Friday when we have take profit. And then Saturday we have some losses once again, some negativity, and then Sunday we'll pump again. So this is just how the market will be playing in this coming week. So just, it's standard, all right? It's the usual thing. So now just pay attention to this. Once it forms a bull flag, go for the entry, all right? So the entry levels are only available in Legacy and Elite groups, okay? Now, so this is daily on Gemini, on BTC, okay? So once again, what we're seeing here is that we are heading, okay, wait, where's my line? Okay, sorry. So this is the EMA 50, as you can see here. Now, let me just pull out my let me just pull out my EMA 200. Okay, so sorry, EMA 200 is here. So this is EMA 50, this is EMA 200. And what we have went through is it's a huge downward action, right? So previously this was the death cross that we experienced. This was kind of like a intersection, and then we had a huge death cross as well here going on, and then BTC price just went on and crashed, right? So what we are seeing here is that we need to see a golden cross is when EMA 50 picks up above EMA 200, and at the same time we have to breach this cloud. So from what you can see here is that the cloud is kind of widening in terms of daily. So what it kind of meant is that unless the volume is substantial, okay, now anything can happen in crypto. That's just one small disclaimer. Anything can happen. So if let's say the volume is substantial enough, we are maybe just able to breach this whole entire fat cloud here, okay, and then we may just go skyrocketing to maybe $5,000 or $6,000 level. That may happen. But what I'm really seeing is in terms of resistance, we are really looking at 4,300 level to even 4,005 levels. Okay, so we have to, in order for us to get into this cloud here, we'll be crossing EMA 50 most likely. So we'll be at about $4,338 level. So this is the level we need to take note of. Okay, but in terms of daily, you can look at the charts here. It's very, very healthy. We are also above, in terms of RSI, we are above the 50 midline. So it's kind of meant that we are heading upwards. So it's a good trend. Okay, but like I say, we need, in order for a huge, large bullish movement, we need to have a series of bull flags. That will kind of encourage more movement. So something along the line of this 4-hour chart, you can see a formation of bull flag here, bull flag here, bull flag here, and therefore you move up against. So you have to form a series of bull flag. It's kind of like a consolidation of order books. It's kind of like a consolidation of traders where they are deciding, okay, now is the time to go in again, and therefore you have a huge run up once again. So all these are kind of like hidden per se, but you need to kind of have all these bull flags to kind of just boost BTC prices all the way. Now, if you just keep forming this kind of candles, it's an erratic movement. It's very, very difficult. So this morning, a few hours ago, we did have this about $200 pumped, and then after it keeps on pumping still. But once again, you will hit the point where we need to correct slightly, forming a bull flag formation, and then after that, we may pump up again. Okay, towards the 4445 areas that a lot of people are calling for, which I personally believe we will go there as well. So the question is, where can we go in, right? So where can we enter? So like I say personally, I'll be looking at this box right here. Okay, these will be the levels that I'll be looking at, and once the bull flag is formed, we'll be heading up once again. Simple. Okay. So now, when looking at Ethereum wise, Ethereum has kind of went through quite a huge pump, I would say. It's about 17% upside and blah, blah, blah. So at least for today and for the last few days at least, right? So Ethereum has been moving more significantly faster than BTC itself. So what you realize that if in terms of for Ethereum for now, on a 4-hour chart, you realize that it has kind of broken up from the EMA 50, EMA 200. Great news. We have broken up on Kijun Singh, broken up on Senko. Chico is also going up, so it's a great thing. In terms of cloud, we are also above the cloud. We are, however, at oversold level. So the sustainability of Ethereum is questionable because it's been oversold for too long. There may be some retracement and correction. But what you do see here is, I just kind of caught this, but you can also kind of see that there's almost a crossing here that's gonna be happening soon. So the EMA 50 has been, the EMA 50 has been below EMA 200 for a very long period of time. So EMA 200 has been below EMA 50 for a very, very long period of time, extended period. So you realize how Ethereum just dipped all the way. But the golden cross is about to happen. So if we do see some movement, some crosses here, it may just signify a greater movement when it comes to Ethereum's prices. Okay, so just take note of that. When you zoom out when you go to daily, we can see it in a clearer fashion. Okay, so you can see that we are bridging into the cloud on daily. It's kind of like a great news, okay, but whether or not we'll break through this, we have to be, so Ethereum will have to break through this cloud at least. at $160 level, then we can kind of conclude that on daily it's good, okay? But even when it breach above $160, we'll be hitting oversold on RSI. There will still be some correction. But I personally feel, just a small gut feel here, not technical analysis, anything, but personally you can see that on daily candles we are increasing in terms of intensity of the body. So likely the volume will catch up to it and we'll be able to press on to push above 160 and then slightly correct once again, because the cloud will then act as a resistance. So that may happen most likely, alright? So I'm just saying in the most likely fashion that Ethereum will still be moving slightly faster than BTC for now. But whether or not it's sustainable, that's another question. Whether or not it has a value, that's questionable as well. Alright, so this is gonna be what's gonna happen for Ethereum as well. Alright. Okay, so let me just go to questions from any one of you. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so what do I think about ARK? Honestly, I'm not looking at it. There are too many tokens, so what I'm doing is I have readjusted my portfolio such that I only focus on the top 10. Okay, so at this particular moment, I'm just being more conservative. I'm not looking anything beyond the top 20 even. And I'm just focusing on 5 tokens. That's it. Simple. Yeah. And BTC is one of them. So you realize that I'm not in a lot of coins as well. So I think what's the difference between market cap and volume? I think our moderator just did a superb explanation. So basically the difference between market cap and volume is that market cap is really more about the size of the particular token. Okay, much like example, say the size of the market cap of Apple stock, okay, is particularly at this price, okay? But the volume that is being traded within a day, 24 hours volume, it's different, okay? I can have, so let's just take a look quickly at, so let's say BTC, right? 24 hours volume, yeah, let me share screen. 24 hours volume here, it's 7 bill, but the market cap is 73 billion. So out of the whole entire 144, 73 billion is made up of BTC. That's why they give you a 50.9% dominance. But whereas volume is just the volume traded across all the different exchanges, it makes up 7 billion BTC. All right, so that transaction is BTC, like BTC Tether, FBTC, that's all in BTC underlying. You're trading BTC for something else, so that volume is calculated in terms of BTC, something like that. Okay, so that's how volume is being calculated. Okay, so in a sense, why I keep mentioning that volume has to come in organically, because you need volume to be fresh. You need volume to be coming in from fresh fiat. Then it makes sense. Okay, and it cannot be just within the cryptocurrency market, because that is just money pumping from moving from a left pocket to a right pocket. Same logic. All right. So guys, that's all from me today. Just want to wish all of you guys who are watching to Crypto Grinders on Crypto Grinders wishes you a very Merry Christmas. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you all after Christmas on Wednesday. So have lots of fun, have lots of gifts, gift exchange, you know, have a lot of conversation about BTC, you know, talk to more people on cryptocurrency, spread the word, guys. You know, when the network is more decentralized, more people knows about it, the value of BTC goes up, the sentiment gets more positive, right? So you're helping to encourage the world to own more BTC, and therefore the network is more scattered and the value of BTC will go up eventually. So go out there and talk about BTC and talk about cryptocurrency, guys. Alright, so guys, if you're not subscribed to our newsletter, you can just key in your email at the bottom here on the top bottom right hand corner, and you can key in your email. We'll be sending you weekly love letter in that sense, where you can read and get the latest update on crypto grinders and cryptocurrency news. Alright, so thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys after Christmas, and take care, have fun, stay safe, and Merry Christmas.